Genshin Impact has always had a problem with anniversary gifts. There have never been enough of them for their dedicated fanbase. Millions upon millions are spent on trying to get a beloved character. And what if I told you that that was the crux of the problem? A lot of people are trying to get a certain limited 5-star character and are angered when they spend hundreds of dollars or even hundreds of free summons and end up with nothing. It's easy to say that that is the problem indeed. I want a certain 5-star character and I didn't get it, so I'm angry. But what if it was all intentional? Not in the obvious sense that Hoyoverse wants you to keep spending money, that is a given.
Okay, Nilu, die!
But what if there's another plan in play? It might be a bit of a stretch, but what if we have seen this plan in play since 2021 with the KFC collaboration? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that this was the first ever collaboration Genshin Impact ever had. This was for any player in China who purchased product in select KFC establishments would receive free stickers with an in-game glider. The result of this was the Chinese fanbase stealing advertising product and global players being upset because they didn't get the same treatment as the CN players. It's easy to write this collaboration as failed because all it did was give Hoyoverse a bad reputation for being biased towards its Chinese player base. Though if you were to take a step back and look at this fiasco through a business perspective, they might have viewed this as an opportunity. A lot of people were going crazy over the characters being featured at a restaurant. So, in knowing that, they started taking it further and pushing for the characters to appear on cell phones, tea house companies, and even cars. The collaborations that happened after the first KFC one didn't end as badly, because at this point the fanbase had drawn the conclusion that Hoyoverse favored their CN player base. At this point, I know I'm going to sound like a conspiracy theorist here, but what if Hoyoverse wants some of their fanbase to be disgruntled? Maybe to them it shows that there's still a desire for their characters. Evidence to support this is the fanbase wanting Genshin Impact to finally get a free 5-star selector, which is a common practice many gacha games have. Even other Hoyoverse games have a free 5-star selector as a way to get new and old players to stay.
It's not like there's no precedent, because Genshin is a gacha game and it's based on other gacha games, and there's basically never been a gacha game in the history of the world that doesn't at some point give a free 5-star character after 3 years of having the game out. That's a long
This has been something players have wanted Genshin Impact to get since it launched 3 years ago and still haven't implemented. Many players have even voiced concerns about Hoyoverse not caring about their fanbase due to giving such low rewards for daily and long dedication towards the game.
A lot of things have been bubbling up, and I think people are just like, really Hoyo, this is how you thank us for 3 years after everything, all the support we've given you, all the countless amount of
evidence to support this is Genshin Impact's infamous anniversary rewards. Ask any longtime Genshin Impact player and they will tell you that this happens every year.
We're going to be getting the usual free 4-star Liyue character selector with the also usual free 10 pull that we get on Chinese New Year's. Now, let's be honest, this is a bit of Stockholm Syndrome into us being okay with the amount of rewards that we get.
Rewards they give are minuscule compared to the other gacha games and even other Hoyoverse games like Honkai Star Rail. In recent events, Star Rail showed appreciation to their player base by giving away an actually good limited 5-star character in addition to 20 free summons on top of the free summons you get from daily play and progression in the game. And just to give context, to get a guaranteed limited 5-star character in Genshin Impact requires 160 pools. That's guaranteed. So when you look back at just receiving 20 summons for 3 years of consistent dedication, it's no wonder the fanbase feels cheated. At this point, like any sane person would think, is there a reason Hoyoverse refuses to give players what they want in order to keep retaining their interest in the game? And the answer to that is Hoyoverse sees Genshin Impact as a brand. Their characters have become more of celebrities in the sense, and to guide this idea, think of Hatsume Miku. When brands or other games want to do a collaboration with Vocaloid, they just ask for this character. Hatsume Miku has become prevalent to the point where this character is now a celebrity, does live performances, and even is guest performing for Coachella. And I believe Hoyoverse wants to reach the same height of success with Genshin Impact. In not giving the fanbase the characters they want immediately and making it hard to get, Hoyoverse keeps the interest in characters ongoing to show potential collaborating companies that there is still a huge amount of people interested in their characters. An example of this is this year Hoyoverse released new skins for old characters, Ganyu, Shinha, and Xingqiu. Xingqiu's skin is being given for free while you have to pay for Ganyu and Shinha's skin. It seems a little coincidental that not long ago, Ganyu and Shinha became a part of a collaboration for a tea house company. And to add more suspicion towards Hoyoverse's potential sneaky agenda, there's a potential collaboration with Sony to where any person who buys a PlayStation 5 also gets a couple of free summons and a free 4-star skin selector. This is all right around the release of new skins, which happen maybe every 4 version updates. It's also easy to say that Hoyoverse wouldn't do this and that this would make players leave, but time and time again, players have remained playing and showing dedication to the game despite the unfair treatment from Hoyoverse.
Going to be, if I'm the guy who's running the whole entire thing, I'm going to say, hey, so they're complaining? Well, look at the numbers. Has anybody stopped playing? What are the overall login numbers after this this message has been conveyed? Oh, it's still the same? Really? Huh. Oh, we lost a little bit of people? Okay. Yeah, we still got about 65 million active players though, yeah? And they're bitching right now? Okay. Well, that's a W.
If we decide to look at Genshin Impact as a brand and not a game, the reason for the unfair treatment, the lack of endgame content, and the slow story progression becomes clear. Even the reason for the boring random story events. This is not to say that it's okay, but it's good to know how Hoyoverse sees their game, not as a game, but a brand or even a game that holds their potential celebrities. In a short and simplistic recap, so long as we show strong desires for certain characters, Hoyoverse will continue to see everything they're doing as successful. I would even go so far as to say they think their formula is genius. Some would say that this is actually bad, as players would lose interest in the game if they didn't get their favorite character. But on the contrary, people on TikTok have voiced that once they get their favorite character and play them for a few weeks, the magic is gone. They no longer really like the character as much as they did when they didn't have them. They lose interest in the character. It's almost like they prove the idea that one wants what they can't or don't have. If at this point you're not convinced that many people go crazy for these characters, many Genshin Impact streamers over the years have voiced how people will come onto their stream and beg them to get them a featured 5-star character, even going so far as guilt-tricking them by telling the streamers depressing stories.
I've gone so far as get an email about someone pretending that they have cancer or even one of their children has cancer. Someone said, "My child has cancer. Their only wish is to get Ganyu."
Some Genshin Impact streamers have even voiced that some people even get mad about streamers not giving enough rewards or characters to their viewers. It would be naive to say that Hoyoverse doesn't have time to look into that, but for a company that is finding a lot of success in marketing their characters as celebrities, I would think that it's in their best interest to have a dedicated team looking into how much buzz the community is making in regards to their game, characters, rewards, and decisions. Anything to keep them relevant. As the saying goes, any type of press is good press. So with that, what are your thoughts on the matter? Do you agree or disagree with my opinion? Should I start wearing an aluminum hat? Let me know in the comments below. This is Dumb Takes. Good night and goodbye.